I've made my decision. I'm going to move on.
Hi, my name is Preeti, and today I present to you the story of this book barn here in Daylesford. Daylesford is a small country town which is located around 108 kilometers northwest of Melbourne CBD. Formerly a gold town, but in recent times it has become popular for its spa experience and its decadent food and wine. Away from the hustle and bustle of the town centre and located by the beautiful and serene Lake Daylesford is this quaint little spot known as the Book Barn, which over the years has stocked a whole range of second-hand books and also been graced by the presence of personalities such as chef-author Maggie Beer, Graham Simpson, the writer of the Rosie Project, and the famous comedian and author Barry Humphries.
Hello, welcome to the Book Barn.
Today we catch up with Andrew Green, who has been running this joint for the past 13 years. He shares his journey from then till now.
The bookshop has been here for about 40 years. Originally it was a potter studio. It was a potter who built it and obviously used a lot of recycled material, like the wood is all packing cases, and I think he fired his own bricks, and that's why they're so unusual. Eventually he sold to Kerry, who was an antiquarian bookseller.
Kerry Bolton, yeah.
Kerry Bolton.
Yeah.
And he had it for about 25 years, and I took over when he retired. I saw the sign outside, expressions of interest, fine dining restaurant, and I thought, well, Daylesford doesn't need any more fine dining restaurants, it needs a bookshop.
Yeah.
So I came in and I sort of knew Kerry because I'd bought books from him before, and he said to me, there's these, now bear in mind this was 13 years ago, and he said, there's these things called computers and they're going to take over.
Yeah.
And he said, I've been trying to sell the book business for 2 years and I can't, so I've sold the freehold. So I said, if you could teach me books, would you be prepared to sell me a stock? And he said, of course. The bookstore was always here, but I made it into something extra, like with the cafe. We put the deck in, we moved the books out to this area, we put in the kitchen. We did that in a very short period of time. The full-time operation opened up on the Christmas of 2006.
So how do you think Daylesford has changed over the past decade?
When I first came to Daylesford, it was the start of the boom, and everybody was saying, 5 years previously, it was, you could shoot a gun in the main street, there wasn't anybody around. But over the last 5 years, it had developed, and over the last 10 years, it's accelerated the development.
As you know, all good things must come to an end. After nearly 40 years of being in operation, this book barn is closing its door for the last time. So, how did the decision come to end the book barn?
Well, what happened was that the ownership of had a lease. The ownership of the book barn changed hands halfway through last year, and the new owner is a developer. And although I can't speak on his behalf, I do know that he has a permit for 3 shops and 3 apartments. My solicitor wrote to him 5 times saying that we'd be more than happy to sign a lease, but there seemed to be some reluctance to do that. And in the end, I instructed my solicitor to, if we couldn't get a lease, that was okay. I'd be happy to continue under the same arrangements that we have now, but I needed a date when he needed me out, whether it would be 1 year, 2 years, 2:30 in 6 months' time, as long as I had a date when I'd have to access, and I could work with that, but I couldn't get that. So in the end, I had to give him 3 months' notice, and since then, I could sleep at night.
Yeah, yeah. What has been the favorite part of you running this business?
Without a doubt, the people that we've met. Daylesford's a tourist town, but there are people who actually live here all the time, and it's a great community. And I don't know whether it was coming from Melbourne, where you're just, another face, but here you can you have to work at it. It's not a given, but you can become part of the community. And there's not that many of us here permanently. Most of the houses, as you realise, are B&Bs and Airbnb and that type of thing. But the people who are here and the people who own places are very interested. There's a full demographic. There's artists and writers, politicians, lawyers, judges, even doctors, as well as the locals who, there's, I hate to say this, but there's people living in the bush, rough.
Yeah.
There's rough livers in Daylesford. And the community, there's opportunities for the community to enhance their position. So it's a great community. You meet really interesting people. And I hate to keep repeating myself, but it's the community. That was what made Daylesford for me. And I feel very humbled and honoured to be part of that group.
Happy birthday to you. Hooray! 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 Be careful what you whisper. Oh, we won't do no.
Then the following Saturday morning, we're going to have a complimentary morning tea for any of the locals or anybody who wants to come. So you'll be drinking out of paper cups. We'll be getting rid of all.
Bring your own.
We'll bring
still.
whatever we've got left over will be on the menu.
It's sad to see it go because actually I was here the night before it first opened in 1983 with the previous owner, Kerry Bolton. He and I were having drinks here the day before he opened, so I could say I've seen it start and see it finish. But no, it'll be sad to see it go.
Obviously, to begin with, I was angry. Now I'm sad, but I probably realise it's about time. Beside the lease issue, the two ladies who work for me, I got them from the high school 12 and 11 years ago. They've worked for me every weekend for 12 years.
Yep.
As casuals. That's most unusual in the hospitality industry.
Yep.
They're like my daughters. I need to get them out of the nest. They've got to get proper jobs.
And how's your career going?
Oh,
My brilliant career.
it's all right. Don't know if I like it, but don't know if I like it. I think I prefer to stay here now.
Is the money all right?
Yeah, the money's good.
That's a good start. That's not the be all, but it's a good start.
She's working for the government, of course.
It's all right. Yes, of course. And the conditions will be good too. Lots of super and sick leave. I know all the super.
Hi, my name's Kat, and I've been working at the Book Barn for 10 years now. It is a great disappointment that it is closing down, but I'm very excited for my future and the future of my colleagues. This has become a second home to me, and I'll really miss all the regulars and all the locals that come in, but it's been a great experience, and it's my favourite job.
They're moving on, I'm moving on, and I've been fortunate enough to get a new position in Daylesford, and I've got a lovely new place to live, so I've got to move on.
I've just been coming here on and off for a little while. We're all from Guildford, but because it's closing, I'm coming more frequently because it's a big loss to the lake and to Daylesford and to the folk that work here. It's such a shame it's going because it's a lovely little nook to come to.
Do you think the character of the place is losing? Like, Daylesford is always known to be like a peaceful little country town.
That's
Well,
exactly.
depending what they're going to do with it, it'll be terrible because this keeps in the ambience of the place.
Yeah.
Well, as soon
It's
as she said we're
beautiful.
coming to the lake, I said, are we going to the bookshop?
Yes. And I pick
It's-
up a little pot plant sometimes.
Yep.
Over the years, I've got quite a few little pot plants.
And you're
from
always
here.
welcome.
The staff are lovely.
Yep.
The gentleman that runs it's wonderful.
So, what do you think of change, like, which is just coming around these days?
I don't think this bit here needs to change at all.
Yeah.
Because it's a peaceful area. It's not
They're
a...
losing the ambience of the place. They don't need any more apartments
High-rise.
or shops or anything like that.
I don't know, I just always thought it was here, this sort of thing. You come to the lake, you go to the bookshop.
Yeah, have a little wander around,
Yeah.
find a book.
I don't often,
Have a
I've
coffee.
bought it, I've bought two, haven't
Yes,
I?
oh yes, I have too. And
I
some
like
little
old books.
granddaughter.
Yeah, I like old books.
Yes, look, there's no doubt about that. It is changing, and people are reluctant to change. Australians are very reluctant to change. Look at the recent circumstances politically wise. People are very conservative and they don't like change. And it's got to be done slowly. There's no harm in change, but certainly Daylesford is changing, whether it's for the good or the bad. Only time will tell.
We just need to keep these country towns as they are because, I don't know, we're all getting older and we have our memories and I was born in a little town just out of here called Blackwood, and it just is so sad. If we wanted to live in that sort of thing, we'd go to Melbourne. But progress, it doesn't stop for any of us. And as I say, we're very sad and it'll be goodbye to another era and
And do you think there's any possibility of you writing your own book?
I've always threatened to do that. Daylesford, the novel, but it couldn't be published till after I die because I'd be sued by everybody in town.
All the secrets of the town.
The secrets of the town, yes. Whatever happens, the sun will come up tomorrow morning. You think you're in the poo, you think you're having a bad time, you think the world's against you, but you go to bed, the next morning the sun will come up, and the longer the time passes, the less you get, the less issue it is, whether it's financial or relationships or anything like that. If you're in a relationship and you've broken relationship, time will heal it. And you just got to move on, dust yourself off and look for the next opportunity. You're a long time dead.
The one thing which is constant in our lives is change. You can resist it for a while, but in order to progress, you need to adapt. In a few weeks' time, this book barn will be gone for good. The one thing you can learn from this is nothing stays forever. So when you have something, cherish it, appreciate it, and make the most of it. Because that one thing which can never be taken away are the memories. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one with a new story.